It's a lot.
She has arrived.
So anyway, if somebody is, if maybe somebody wants to adopt it, I can, after tomorrow, I'll know more, but otherwise I'll keep it. All right, thanks for letting me share my story today. BX slider. All right, so we'll start with the BX slider, responsive jQuery slider. So if you please go to the website, BX slider. Loading. I'm sorry? Pretty much, yeah. Oh. Well, neighbors, I guess. It needs to be reloaded a couple of times for some reason. Okay, so it's fully responsive, horizontal, vertical, and fade modes. It has a lot of options. You can set it up for touch screens, which is awesome. Uses CSS transitions, which we now know what they are. Full callback, small file size, fully themed. So it's a pretty good image slider if you need one. And so let's go ahead and download it. There is a download button on the top left, top right rather. Okay. So download. Yeah, you have to refresh a couple of times. I'm not sure why that happened. I got it too. And then it works. And after you download the zip file, then unzip, please. Okay, so it comes with some images, the image control images. This is the plugin. And it has this is the plugin, the BX slider, and it's a minimized or minified or regular version, and it has a CSS file. And we can briefly examine these in brackets.
This is not downloading. You have to refresh on the downloads that pass. Just refresh it.
jQuery BX slider folder. Okay. The CSS, which can be customized. And we should be able to also get some examples here. If this site actually responds. So there are a variety of examples. So we'll start with this image. And also it's nice that it shows, next to the examples, it shows some of them don't seem to work, or I don't know what is wrong with their server. But assuming the server cooperates, then we can start working with the first example, which is the basic slideshow with captions. I'm not sure. Do you think it seems like it's their site, right?
Yeah.
but that too, right? Let's see, what I would like to, okay. What I was trying to get at was to, well, I guess we have to get our own images. All right, and that's fine. So, let me see something. To use this example, we are going to need to get some images. I was hoping that there is an example that already has them included, but that's not. Let's see here. All right, fine. So let's go to Google or somewhere else to get some images. We'll stick with the tree. I like the tree theme. How about autumn trees? Okay, and exactly 730 by 200. I don't think we can find something so specific, but who knows?
I got I got foxes.
You have foxes?
Yeah, at 500 by 300.
All right, I'm going to make it medium. Well, I want them to be the same size. It's just going to help us out. So let's just make them exactly 600 by 400, for example. And then let's grab 3 or 4 of them. And then we can just work with the jQuery big slider folder, and it already has images. So let's go ahead and put the images in that folder. So I1, MG1. MG2. Images. And what we need to know is that we need to know the HTML and what jQuery to call, and here they are. So let's create a site, and then we're going to copy the jQuery, sorry, the HTML format. Essentially, the images need to be stored as list items according to this, right? So new website, save as bxslider.html. And save it somewhere relative to the images, so we can use the images. Okay. All right, so the first step, which is not mentioned here for some reason, is we need to actually link to the CSS and the jQuery. Right, so the first process with a plugin is you have to include the jQuery library because it's going to depend on the jQuery library. Well, from the jQuery and also the CSS afterwards. So let's search for jQuery library, hosted libraries. And scroll down to jQuery and copy the 3x snippet is fine. And paste in the head of the document. And we also need the jQuery, the BX slider plugin itself. So that's a script. Source is equal to. The name of it is the jQuery BX slider.min. So depending where you put your HTML, I put it in the same folder, but this is the file you want, okay? Does this make sense? And then we have to close the script tag. So these are your two JavaScript files we need to include to work with any plugin, in this case, BX slider. Do you have any questions?
Between the min and the BX slider JS.
Without? It's exactly the same file. The min is the compressed version. So if you're going to upload it, you want to use the compressed version. Whereas the other one is exactly the same, but it's maybe if you want to actually work with the code, which we probably don't.
And that should be in a JS folder, right?
Yeah, so the way that I just put my HTML in the same folder as the plugin, so that's why it's in the same folder, but you could move it in a JS folder. It just depends on your particular setup. I usually put it in a JS folder, but in this case I didn't. What I did is I put my HTML in the plugin download, so that's one thing. But yeah, you need to just preface it with where you put it. So it's fine. Okay. All right. So these are the JavaScript file, and we also want the CSS file, which needs to actually go before the JavaScript. And so this is called the jQuery BX slider.css. So we need to link to rel equals, let's see, file sheet, href equals 2. And again, wherever you put this file, but it's the CSS file. So bx slider.css, and CSS goes before JavaScript. And then going back to the example, we need to copy both the JavaScript and the HTML. Okay, so since we're loading images here, let's see. I'm going to put this before the closing body tag. So I'm going to add a script. And then BX slider is going to go here. And we need to now, so it's going to use the UL class BX slider to select the UL, and then call the BX slider method to actually execute the code. The last thing we need to do here before we test this out is that we need to actually point the images to our images instead of the example images, right? So you need to come in here in the code and then change the images to your images. One. Image 2. Okay. All right. So, okay, so the plugin is working. We need to do some changes here, as you can see, to the CSS, but there it is. Okay. So there are also various options that you can set with the, let's see, how should we do this? I just need a moment to research if we're going to constrain the size of the slider with CSS or with options. So it's probably CSS, but let me take a look in that real quick. Is it working so far?
It's not, mine's not moving, but it's
Okay.
workable.
If it's not moving, do Control-Shift-I to check if you have any errors in the JavaScript console. See, make sure the JavaScript works. Second, let me just do a little research here.
Let's see.
They're not showing up? So there are some more options that you need to set?
Says CSS and CSS/images. So maybe that's why they have to be in images folder and CSS folder.
All right, so there's some more options that we can try setting real quick here with the BX slider. So the captions are true, and then at comma, auto controls, true. Comma, not semicolon. Captions through. Slide width, there we go. Let's try, hopefully this will do it. If mine is 600, I think. And slide margin 10. This is again comma. And also, so let's see here. Okay, oops. How big? So I guess maybe this needs to be 800. Thousand. Saving. All right, what happened here? Oh, I have an error. Okay, 23. I keep on wanting to add semicolon after everything.
I know.
Right.
Did that too.
All right, there you go. Okay.
So I put my images in an image folder along with the other images that came along with it, and now I can't find the arrows. So where do I find it in the CSS to point? I mean, I did a find.
That I have the same setup, so that's not the issue. There must be some other issue. My images are also in the same folder as the. All right, so guys, the size of the, I'll take a look, Jenny, in a second. The size of the slide is set up with a property slide width. So you can set it up according to the size of your images. I set this to 700. And slide margin is 20. So this is giving an improvement, and auto control should show now down here. All right, let me take a look. Jen. Can you show me actually your range?
Right. Right, so you have to use the. Yeah, because that's the path. Yeah. My slider images themselves are images, and then the control images are CSS images, yeah. CSS images. It's written either in, somewhere it's written that they have to be that way, so that's somewhere in one of these files. CSS/images/ where it goes to. Yeah, that's where you put these, where you just put the controls. Yeah, I don't know where it's written. It worked. Yeah. I don't know why it's not running. Yours is just yours is slide. Yeah, so that's. Is it not supposed to?
We're also on the style.
Where,
Oh, no, you.
yeah, which isn't, it's like, it's not, even though I say that.
You're right. Maybe you can. Okay, one thing that everyone can do, and I don't know if Jen, this might solve the problem. We need to let's put this should work as it is, but let's put a document ready around the call to the jQuery so that it's a guarantee that the elements have loaded. In other words, we're going to have $ document dot ready function. And then close it after you close the options for the save all. Okay. All right. 25. Nothing should be missing here. Oh, here we go. Huh. That's weird. For sure. Let's see.
So with this down here, should be your. Right down here. Yeah, because this is for this function and not for that.
Okay, so it didn't like document ready. That's very odd. Okay, here we go.
I guess. Example doesn't come on its own, so maybe that's why.
In the meantime, Jen, so this didn't fix it, huh?
So it hasn't been working, it's just been. It's good. Yeah, I'm gonna try this.
Maybe the big slider is so popular that so many people are trying to get to it that it's giving internal service error. And goes through. So auto through is going to set it to go automatically, right?
Okay, now it's working.
So is this will this work? I put the auto true, which means I believe that it's going to automatically start, and the auto controls true means it's going to show the controls.
I just pulled up a different one. There was a auto.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, that's fine. So these are all options. So it's the same plugin with different options. So you can play with any of the options that you want. I believe auto is the one that is going to start it without, automatically. And let's see here. There may be.
Maybe I'll use this one for.
Options, here we go. So the options is on the documented here under options for more details. If it ever loads. The one thing about one issue here that I have that I need to fix, I guess, with the CSS is if you want to have a caption, it's cut off. Do you have this?
Yes.
Right.
Oh wait, mine is cut off.
Yeah, I think they're all cut off. So that either, well,
Only on one of my slides is working. It's fine. The other two it's cut off.
let's see. Okay, so they're all cut off. Okay, so a couple other options. You can have a min slide and max slides. I'm not going to use this, but you could say how many as other options: min slides, 2, and max slides. So it's just the option, so I'm just showing it. But let's see with those titles here. So the title. Oh wait, actually this might be fun to see. Min slides. I think if you do the slides like that, it might show more than one on the screen. Let's see. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that brackets is interfering, but I'm not sure if that's. Is it brackets or is it me? Oh, I guess it's the options. Okay. All right, so the titles should have a reference in the CSS that we might be able to correct. So find title. Caption, okay, caption, I guess it's called caption. So maybe the font size is too big, 0.85, or the padding, so maybe, let's see. Okay, well, that's not. So this blue line is from brackets, right? Guys? So let's see here. Huh. Or maybe it's up here. Maybe it's this one. Is anyone in the CSS file right now? What is the background for the BX wrapper, BX caption? I think
Oh, there's two of them.
the top one?
Hashtag 666-9.
-9, thank you.
No, sorry, /9, not dash. /.
I thought this was an error. That's why I was double checking with you.
I even changed the positioning. It doesn't do anything. It had 0.
Well, it's doing something for me, as you can see, but it's not.
You changed the caption span.
Yeah,
Mine's working.
it is working. I changed the caption span. Now it's back to the original, but
It was on mine. It's the padding is 0, 0, 20 pixels, 10 pixels.
so you just made it top right. So the bottom is 20, and then the left is 10. Okay. And did you leave the same font size?
Yeah. Hold on.
Come on, brackets.
Zero, zero, yeah, 20 pixels, 10 pixels. So the padding on the caption.
And all three of yours are working? Yes, I have one side that says it wrong. The other two are.
Yeah, all three. Even worse.
So I think the blue line is from brackets.
Yeah.
So then this seems like it's satisfactory there. Right? 2010. All right, thank you. Anything else with this example? So set to this work for you guys' project
Yes.
better than the whatever you had?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Thank you.
Good. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Gives me the rest of my life.
All right, so how about if we, I just want to try one other thing real quick. Constrain the width of the slide smaller than the size of the image. No, oh, that's the margin then, let's see. What if it has no margin? Oh, and it is responsive. Okay, I think we have exhausted this topic then, or? All right. It's actually 8 o'clock already, so let's take maybe take, what should we do with the breaks? I feel like maybe, what do you guys want? Take a very short break and then we keep on going instead of a 10-minute break, just to freshen our heads. Yeah, stand up, sit down, and keep on going. So, where exactly do you live? Not that not exactly where you're
Like,
going.
10th and Anderson. In Westwood Village.
Yeah.
If you take the road, it goes straight down to Lincoln Park. This is, if you drive up, yeah, no, it turns into, Walmart turns into Anderson, once you cross Mill Ridge.
Right.
So it goes basically in Henderson and Oh, and California. Okay, all right, yeah. Never been there because I shop
It's
lots.
very expensive. I live behind it, but I don't do it.
Grocery stores are expensive.
Especially. But it's very nice there. It's nice
I
there.
like Seattle. Geez, that was going out to Georgetown.
Well, yesterday I went because there was a train, so I couldn't cross, so I usually cross and I get to go to Georgetown. But I don't really can't help it, so I don't know if there's anything.
Sunday afternoon, there's like a show, there's like a show. It's the kind of just shutting down first now. So I think we, just like this stuff.
the Falcon
No, it's gonna be the name of Lincoln's animals.
what is the name of your real ones?
TVs. Yeah, remotes.
Yeah.
It's a remote stream. It's fun. It's not so it's from CSX, right? So every time. And then the other one is called the Syntax. Yeah. It's like sort of just like we're so that's the treats. This is a whole. They're actually playing Steady 25th slopes, which is where the first time I opened up the first time in Bruges. Have you ever been to Slopes Last Chicks? Which is Shack on the first time in Soda. It's a beautiful place. And there was a Sonics, but you just got me to was the Sonics.
Yeah.
Like the 60s. Yeah, no. Sonics are not, so it's like 65 or something. It's school rock and roll.
That's it. Just say after we got to see this one.
They played Sunday afternoon. So on Georgetown. There wasn't really any, it was like a new lineup, but if we were trying to have a lineup, because there's sound engineer, Jim, who used to run some. So, like, guys, cancer, so it was like, we were trying to came up and played. No, it was separate. Yeah, like that maybe was Saturday night. Yeah, I started to research it too.
Have you looked at numbers?
Yeah. That's really what
So the drawers. Oh, it's fabulous.
That's so nuts. Are we gonna be Facebook friends?
Yeah, well, it's accept like.
I will.
Do you know that I know Bill Rieflin from REM?
Who?
Bill Rieflin?
Which one is he the?
Oh, right. Refund?
Yeah, he's the, well, I mean, he's not the
I know
best
who he
buddy
is,
or anything, but he's the drummer for REM.
Okay,
Yeah.
is he in the Fresh Rose?
He, you know, I don't know if he sings.
So what's
You can't even be.
My ex is the guitar player with the drummer for it.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, he's only his band, but he does the guitar thing, the guitar craft. So that's how I know. I actually do my brother too.
You seem strange.
Yeah, I'm not impressed by a lot of the musicians. That
Why do you look at me when you say that?
I'm not talking about you, but maybe, I don't know, as a woman, they didn't say that they were just the same people. They just, yeah,
You know what?
they're not
I'm
usually
not
very impressive.
I'm not making a musician, so I'm not writing and writing and thinking about it.
It's like, it's like the worst thing. Yeah, yeah.
That's in the chief of your
Yeah, I know, but there's so much difference between men and female musicians. There is. Yeah.
So he's having some exceptions to that, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
sure.
know,
And you know what, and maybe I'm an exception to it, but I just didn't want to date a single musician. Never sort of never should
I don't
He
know.
was basic, boys.
Easier,
Stuff.
where you call the function, just like
Music, which is good.
You know, like the Pearl Jam, I forgot his name, the reason why Seattle was well, right?
I know his sister.
Oh,
Like the baby?
Eddie,
Oh, Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder is in,
No, we know that.
Seattle, and
Was
also
it definitely David?
maybe,
Somewhere in Seattle.
Somewhere.
Cameron is the drummer.
Cameron?
Yeah. Cameron.
oh, I know, well, we're name dropping, my son went to school with the drummer of Mudhoney.
Okay.
I
Dan.
don't know if you remember
I
him,
know Dan.
Ben.
I try to, every time I see him, I try to convince him that he
Is it
needs to
time to
take some
start?
lessons. And he always tells
Is it
me
time to start class?
his
no, I don't know.
his
Yeah,
form is
probably.
too shoddy and he would feel bad if he didn't get lessons because he said his form is
Your son goes to school with a drummer in Bethany?
He used to.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it my daughter? Actually, my daughter, the older one.
Well, I go surfing with Lisa. And his wife is so amazing. I have a non-sexual crush on her. So, she's got the highest EQ I've ever seen.
Is this the attorney lady? This is,
Margaret's wife.
because Don's wife is very smart too. She's an attorney. Donna, I forgot. Donna Mack is her name, actually.
Well, when I say smart, she's got an emotional smarts.
Ah.
Like she's just super, super wise.
Wow. I wish it was like that.
That's awesome.
All right, so okay, guys. So we finished with the BX slider. Oh, our conversation was recorded, by the way, just so you know.
It's 6 degrees of mud honey, that's what it is.
Right, yeah, exactly. Mud honey, if you're listening,
Dan, I'm on a drum lesson.
okay, we're going to continue with Bootstrap, but I guess I thought we'll just take a little break from Bootstrap and look at the jQuery mobile library. So I would like for tonight, the other thing to do is, unless you guys want to continue with Bootstrap, it's up to you, but do a little bit of jQuery mobile. We're going to put a couple websites with jQuery mobile so you're familiar with it. And that will be the plan for tonight. Okay. And then on Thursday, more Bootstrap and then overview of SEO. And Tuesday, lab time. Okay. So
And then
yeah.
Tuesday we're gonna be presenting, right?
Thursday.
Thursday we're presenting?
Yeah, the night, Thursday the 18th. The
Oh,
last night of class.
I thought we were switching it because I thought.
I think a couple of us are
You can if you
on
want.
Tuesday. Because I'm going to be leaving.
Oh,
Wait, does everyone want to present on Tuesday?
well,
I can't,
You can't.
so I can't on Thursday.
Oh, okay, so that's what we did, we switched from Tuesday to Thursday.
Nico?
and we're presenting the 2 sites, correct?
Yes, the 2 sites.
And the 2 site, I mean, the one that we made, it's a pretty basic site. Do you want us to make any changes to it, or?
Just integrate it and as Star said, clean it up.
Okay.
So if some of you want to present on Tuesday, that will be fine. And then some of you on Thursday, that will be fine too. I'll be here. So just let me know. And I think on Thursday after the class is Mike's and Cool's get together in the Charlie's. So maybe I would like to go for a bit, I guess.
It's, the 18th, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The one problem with musicians is they're too much fun. They're so much fun, you know. That's the hard part, right? No, you're not. Look at the Wi-Fi. Look at the network connection.
Maybe the quarter should just be over.
I'd be okay with that.
Oh wow. Do we hear a protest
Yeah, we do.
about what?
Black Lives Matter.
Oh, is it Black Lives Matter again?
Yeah, I was wondering about that tonight.
It's just right on that crease.
open it from here. Yes. Is there a large crowd there?
What's going
Oh
on?
my gosh, there is a huge crowd.
Seattle West Side protest.
There's some, is there a new reason for this, or is it, I mean, the reason is bad, but is there something else that happened?
No.
I was actually upstairs where he was playing.
Okay, so I just downloaded the slide and show you from here. All right, so we learned that we have so far, there is the JavaScript language, which is a very, perhaps the most popular language. Some sources say Java, some say JavaScript, some say JavaScript is really not a programming language, it's a scripting language, which is true. But in any case, JavaScript is extremely popular. So on top of the JavaScript language, people build the jQuery library. So this is the library that we have been using to make it easier to work with JavaScript. And on top of jQuery library, so when I say on top, what it means is it actually depends on. There were two more libraries that were built. One of them was jQuery UI, which we used for the widgets last time. So jQuery UI. And to use jQuery, you depend on jQuery. To use jQuery UI, you depend on jQuery. And we also have jQuery mobile, which, as I mentioned, is a site that also depends on jQuery. So when you're importing the files, you have to first import the link to jQuery and then to jQuery mobile. And jQuery mobile is used if you have usually larger companies, they want to have a website dedicated to mobile, and they would hire you. So when the user page goes to the site, instead it's going to detect you have a mobile device and redirect to the mobile version of the site. So this is what jQuery mobile can do for you. Okay. So this is a mobile version of the site. And so how can you, I think we all know this, but you can either work with developing a responsive website, or you can create a separate website for mobile. And it can just be more fine-tuned if it's specifically developed for mobile. And you use some JavaScript to redirect from the site to the mobile site when the user is on a mobile device. How can you do this? So there is a JavaScript, and also you can do it with essentially client-side script or server-side script. And I'll show you a JavaScript link that you can put in your website. So for example, if you're McDonald's, or you have a big site, I don't know why I thought about McDonald's, so not my favorite. If you have a big site that was not responsive, and you have to consider how to make it responsive, it might end up being cheaper to create a separate site than to redesign it. So you might be wondering, why don't people just go with responsive? Well, that's one reason why, right? And also a simplified site can be more mobile site can be more fine-tuned for a mobile look. Okay, so we can just go here, detect mobile browsers. And then from here, you can grab some code. There's a text file, and then in this text file, you put the name of your particular website, and then add this to the URL as such, and then you put this down with the script tag. Okay, so first of all, go to the detect mobile browser site. We can probably just do this instead of reading through the steps. How about detect mobile browsers? So let's go to, if we have connection at all. Download scripts, we want let's say JavaScript. And then you can see here the JavaScript function. If I can maybe open it in brackets a little easier. Look at.
It's a text file.
Yeah, oh, it's a text file, so I guess it doesn't matter, right? But at the end of the text file, there is a HTTP detect. Change the URL in the code to the path of the mobile site you want the user to be redirected to. So right here, instead of detect mobile, you're going to say, for example, I actually don't have one, but if I had one, it would be stanimeredith/mobile. And then you save this page, you put it on your server, and then it's going to do the magic to actually redirect the users. Okay, so you have to just put it on your server as a text file. Save the word. Save your work, close the file, rename it so that the text, so you have to make it into a data file. So remove the .txt extension when you save it, right? So it will be just without an extension when saved. And it will make it into a, yeah. You want to make it a JS. The reason it's saved like that is because of security reasons during the download, as you can imagine. So the goal is to make it into a JS file. And then it will go on the server. Right, so it will probably go in the same folder as your index page and then redirect from there. Right. Because it has an absolute URL, then it can pick it up from anywhere. Yeah. And then in your page, you have to essentially even put it whenever you want, but you need to add a script tag to the page that points to that file, right? So you probably put it in your JS folder, since it's a JS file. Okay, well, let's go ahead and add a couple. We're going to create a simple one-pager and then maybe do a couple more mobile sites. And you have a reference here in the slides, but I think it's not really complicated and we can just work through the code instead. So let's start with the one-pager. So file new, save as. I feel like everything is very slow on my machine today. Is this? It's very difficult to work with it. Okay, so you can create a folder if you like for your work. Just create a folder for maybe mobile. You won't have any dependencies. They're all CDNs for now, so you can put it anywhere. I'll put it in my temp folder if I can find it here. There we go. And so this will be first-mobile.html. Okay. So we need to have the viewport. So this is a required part of the process here. So we're going to add the same meta, name equals viewport, and content equals width equals device width, initial scale equals 1. Okay, and next, if we're working with jQuery mobile, we need to import some libraries. So let's go to the CDN, jQuery mobile CDN, jQuery, Google hosted. Here we go. And if you scroll down, there's jQuery. We need to get jQuery as well, and jQuery mobile. jQuery mobile has minified JavaScript, and also it has a CSS file. So let's grab these.
So we're getting jQuery and jQuery mobile.
Yeah, but we have to get it one at a time. So I'm getting jQuery mobile. And so the CSS is the first one. And then between the CSS and the jQuery mobile CDN, we need to link the jQuery CDN because jQuery mobile depends on jQuery library. In other words, we have to go back here and scroll up and then pick up the jQuery snippet.
It's funny, I think you have it where it says initial scale. Oh, no, sorry.
Okay. If I have a
No,
typo.
Adam, sorry, I can't talk right now. Adam does this weird thing with colors that brackets doesn't, so it always confuses me.
Atom as opposed to Adam.
Yeah,
Okay.
ATOM.
Got it.
And
Okay.
it just confuses me.
Yeah. All right. You're clear, Adam. We're not talking about you. Okay, so make sure that this is set up correctly and so that everything works. Again, the CSS comes first, and then the jQuery library has to come after, and the jQuery mobile library comes after the jQuery. All right, so. All right, I guess I would like to mention also that jQuery mobile has a nice website as well with great references, and it will remind you of jQuery UI, for example. We can look at it in a bit, but there are some demos here. And the API documentation is here. And there are themes that you can use now. but let's, I guess let's finish our first example so we have some code in place. All right, so in the body, we're going to have a div. So the way that jQuery mobile works is a little bit similar to Bootstrap. You have different attributes, and then you set those attributes to certain values, and this is what creates the page look. So the first is going to have a div with a data dash role of page. So this is a page. And inside the page, we're going to have a header with a data role of header. So data role are the attributes that are going to be styled with jQuery mobile. And H1 header. And then we're going to have a section. Class equals UI dash content. And role equals main. This is the page content. And finally, footer. Yeah, so we want to be inside the page div. That was intentional. I know it's not always, but this time it was. And H4 footer. Okay. I think that Bracket, even though it's installed locally, I wonder if it pulls something from the net and it's very slow. So I don't know. I think that
Did yours work? Because mine,
no.
mine isn't either.
Actually, I wonder
Oh,
if
here we go.
something
It's
is
working.
just slowing down your whole machine.
Right, I'm wondering about it too, because you're not having this issue.
Well, it's from what I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah, I feel so too. So this is what it is. This is just the page structure, and this is a structure for a first jQuery mobile site. Is it not showing?
Yeah.
But you're using Atom, so would you?
Oh, never mind. It worked.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I know. I didn't use it.
So show the.
You got that.
Yeah. There you go. So I feel like we need to have some more. We're missing some styling or something is not showing up here. So we should have some outlines. I feel like something is wrong with my machine. Are you seeing some colors on the page, or is it just all blank like that? Okay, so okay, I have an error in jQuery mobile. One for 5. Okay, let's see here. Let me try one thing. I'm trying to change the versions of jQuery to see if this will make a difference. Let me actually do this. I'm going to see if I pick up. So because the errors I'm seeing are actually in jQuery itself, right? So what I would like to do is two things. I'm going to try to get a different version of jQuery, 2x. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to go to the examples on the website and work with them. But let me try using 2x instead of 3x here. Yeah, okay. So I know that 3x is newer, it's recent rather, and so maybe it's not compliant for some reason. Should have looked this up. So let's see. All right, so there you go. So the issue is that we need to use 2x jQuery instead of 3x. Okay, so this is one page. How do you add multiple pages? Multiple pages are just divs with the ID that you reference to. So that's how you add multiple pages. In other words, in this example here that we already have, after the closing of the div for this page, we're going to add another div for the second page because they're all scrollable. So we're going to add div data role is equal to page. And we're going to give it the ID of page 2. And here we have a header with data role header. Page 2 header. A section with a class of UI content. Role main. This is page 2 content. You can put an image here. Do we have any images? Let's see. Blueberry. I don't even know what this is, but okay. I think it's someone else's image. You can even get the link, it doesn't matter, but just to show the different content. Okay, alt equals Blueberry. Okay. And then a footer. Data role is a footer. Yeah, you can just put a link there from the web. Page 4. Add copy. minus 16. Oh, sorry, and then we need to link. That's not all. And now we need to reference from the first page. We're going to reference the second page. Oops. Stop it. So to reference the second page, we're going to say ahref is equal to, and then instead of URL, we use a hashtag page 2, which is the ID of the link.
You do now
Page two, yeah. From the first page, we're accessing page 2 or linking to page 2. Let's see here. Where are you? Let's see. Page 2. And here is page 2. For some reason, no blueberry. All right, I'll put a different image here. I feel like I'm definitely having issues with brackets, and it's making it very difficult to know what's going on. How about you?
Which is weird. It's not like it's exactly what most resources have.
Try this. Okay, so after a few attempts, here's page 2 loaded. And you can obviously add more pages, right? And you can have as you can see, an image. So it's not loading? Okay, let's take a look. Your system not working. So you don't have the coloring of the jQuery model, which makes me think that you didn't move it forward. Are you sure? Oh, because jQuery model is before. You have to put jQuery before jQuery model, remember?
That's the
Alright. Try doing it outside of brackets. I'm having so many issues with brackets. Was it working with the first page? It never showed the colors. Okay, go here and shift to the white, please. Try hanging it outside of brackets. Because it's canceling previous. How about, is it working out?
No.
What is it doing? What is it doing? So is it two dips closing down here? And do we have two dips closing there or just one? Should be just one. So take a look here. You have maybe wrapped one.
Oh, that's why it's all the same.
So I should have most of the time.
So the first page you have to close before you open the second page. So delete the last 43,
Your own shadow.
put it, and then put it on line 27 after. Okay. Just one. So that's closing. So click on the div up here, please, of the team. So now it's closing. So I think that's your issue. But I don't know about that. It's more mysterious. Did it work?
Thank you very much.
Did you try it outside of brackets?
I got jQuery. Or I mean,
Just like from your computer. Don't you have a local without having to read a cloud? Can you just run it from your machine? Like from the folder? Just click on it. Where is your folder? From the Mac?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me just, so those of you for whom this works, please take a look on the jQuery mobile and their demos, and then take a look at some of the demos. There are, different things you can do, and it will remind you of Bootstrap with different buttons and different colors. Okay. So right click, and then open this with something other than. Okay. So it's no brackets.
Get rule.
Okay, I don't have to use Firebase and so on.
Yeah, I never used to use
Okay, then you can close this. All right, I think we're satisfied it's not brackets, so it must be your versions. Can I have this one?
Yeah.
One, two, four. Is this the version I have? Yeah. So it seems like failure was happening before the second page, so it's not the second page, right?
It just seems like it's not.
It seems like it's not finding JPEG,
Yeah, we work
but I don't see it
somebody
twice.
else saying, like, creates, multiple, multiples, kind of, multiples. And I've gotten a couple of them, this is Amy one. So, yes.
Oh, it's beautiful.